Blindsided, again, as they do, it starts with a guitar riff, and that's little guitar riff that goes through the verse. Been sitting on that for maybe 5 years. I always liked it, but could never really seem to do anything or go anywhere with it. So it was always, as they are with a lot of ideas, until something clicks, they get put on the back burner. I think it was that tour. We were in Munich, and Damon was hanging out at my hotel room. We were just going over some stuff that we were working on, and I played him that riff. And he said, "What is that?" And I said, "I've had this for a while." I said, we have to work on that. He said, "That's a great riff." And we did, and we pretty much. I scribbled down some ideas. I've been listening to a lot of Tom Waits and Leonard Cohen and stuff like that. So I had the idea in my mind of the story of the guy that we all kind of see at the train station. The guy with the bottle in the bag, looking beat up and bewildered and lost. But that guy sometimes is no different from any one of us. We all get bewildered and beat up and lost. We just don't sit in park benches or in train stations. Sometimes that can happen, to any of us at any time. And I just had this idea for the story, and I literally wrote it as a short story, as this guy has met this woman who's promised him that she's going to look after him and love him and take him away from all this. And so he cleans himself up, he gets himself together, he stops drinking, he stops taking drugs, he sorts his life out, and she arranges to meet him at the train station, and they're going to run off into the distance together and for happy ever after. And of course she doesn't show, so he waits, and the longer he waits, the angrier he gets and the more despondent he gets, and then he starts going, well, hang on a minute, maybe my whole life wasn't so bad after all. Maybe I'm just supposed to be drinking too much and doing too much drugs and living the way I want to live, because I gave up everything for this woman, and I tried to be everything to her, and she basically let me down in every way and didn't show. And it's taken as a metaphor for the stuff that happens in your own life when sometimes you try really, really hard to please somebody, or it's the whole line, when the world shines up dirt and calls it cold. It's like you try as hard as you can to be accepted or to make somebody happy, and no matter what you do, it's never going to be good enough. So it's taking that and putting that my own personal slant on that as well, of course. So yeah, it's balance in it.
It's interesting that you tell that story the way it is, where he starts off fairly hopeful and life affirming, and then it grows to anger and frustration.
Yeah, well, he didn't start off hopeful to begin with. I think he was in a bad place, and she came along and offered him salvation, but she came along, and I think, in my mind, in the story, he was a plaything to her, and something that could be discarded. As the story progresses, she doesn't show, and he realizes that, and he's like, screw it, I'm going to get drunk.
The point being that out of almost any song that you've written that I've heard, it musically echoes the sentiment of the lyrics perfectly. I mean, when you get into the point where he's been waiting at the station for a while in the lyrics, and then the music changes to be more of an aggressive, angrier kind of riff, and it really drives that point home. It makes it an incredible track.
The whole thing is, the whole refrain is, why should I live in history? Why should I let my past define me? Nobody says that that's the way it has to be, and he's kind of realized that. He's going, what I did before, it's history. I've got a chance to start again with this wonderful woman. And then when it all goes, belly up and she doesn't show, he kind of goes, well, maybe the past wasn't so bad. Maybe that's where I need to live. And it's a sad song, that's where I need to get back to. Because I was, at least, I had some recognition and some comfort in that. And when I tried to change for this person, for this woman, I'm more lost and unhappy than I ever was.